Big bro. Little bro.
So why you think? Great day to have a great day.
German word today is good morning, which is guten Morgen.
Happy Friday, baby. It's football time. Feel great.
Alright, so as always, I'll start with a couple of things DQ mentioned in his press conference. He talked about some new additions and what they bring to the table. He mentioned how Will Harris and Jonathan Jones, both of those guys just absolutely fly. They're really fast, and I know that Will Harris has great speed and Jonathan Jones has really good speed as well. Even though he's 31 at this point, I think he ran a 4.3 back at the combine whenever he was drafted. I think he was drafted like 2015 or 2016, but he's fast. He runs a 4.3, and Will Harris is also a fast guy. So good that we're adding speed, or we did add speed to the secondary because we needed it. And then he also talked about how Michael Gallup's length and ability to extend is what he's known for. And obviously DQ has a strong connection to Michael Gallup since he was with Gallup during his Dallas days, 2021, 2022, 2023. So he knows what Michael Gallup brings to the table. And then DQ talked about Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and what he brings to the table. And he basically says it's the violence of his cuts and how he can get his shoulders square and get downhill fast. So those things right there are just some of the things, some of the abilities that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has that no other running back in this running back room has. So super excited to watch Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt throughout the training camp and in the preseason. So that is some of the things that DQ talked about in his presser today. Today was a defensive domination. The defense did not come to play today, man. They did not come to joke around. They absolutely won the day. The first play of 11 on 11 drills today was an interception thrown by Jayden Daniels, and it was the first INT of camp for Jayden Daniels. He was targeting Zach Ertz on the play. Quan Martin tipped it, and Mikey Sanderson finished the play by running it to the end zone. So it would have been pick six. So hey man, that's great to hear. Quan Martin, hopefully he has a breakout year this year. I'm honestly banking on it. I feel like he has the talent, he has the potential to do so. And Joe Wood Jr. said back in OTAs, back in the spring, that Quan Martin could have a breakout year because of how he looked last year, how he's looked in practices. So good to hear positive things about Quan Martin, and obviously Mikey Sanders still coming up with an interception. We need more turnovers this year, so it's good to hear that. And we had another interception after this. 2 plays later, Marcus Mariota in at quarterback, and he threw an interception to Tyler Owens. So hey man, Tyler Owens, he is super raw. As you guys know, he was raw coming out of college last year. He's great on special teams, but we're trying to figure out whether or not he has what it takes to actually play snaps on defense as a safety. And today he came up with an interception, so that's a positive sign of Tyler Owens' development. Von Miller hit a nasty inside spin move on Andrew Wiley, who was working with the first team at right tackle. Linnell Willingham tweeted that out, so shout out to him. But hey, man, that's what Von Miller is going to bring to the table, man. He is still a really, really good pass rusher, and we brought him in to be a good to great situational pass rusher for us, and hopefully improves our pass rush as a whole, right? So good to hear Von Miller making plays, of course. Jalen Lane, he saw Mikey Sanderson's physicality. Mikey blew him up on a screen to KJ Osborne, and the screen went nowhere. So Linnell Willingham said that an area he feels like Jalen Lane needs to improve in is his play strength because of how easily he got blown up by Mikey Sanderson on that play, right? So is one thing he needs to improve, but I feel like that'll come over time. Just get him in the weight room and he'll improve his play strength. But again, Mikey Sanderson, he was all over the field today. He was flying around, blowing up stuff. He caught an interception like I just stated a minute ago. So, hey man, Mikey back in the nickel spot. He gonna be deadly. He is gonna be so good, man. I'm so excited to watch that. Jaden's second interception of the day was to Bobby Wagner in 7v7 drills. It was a pass over the middle intended for Ertz, but Bobby Wagner literally extended and picked it off, man. So at Bobby Wagner's ripe old age, who knew he could still extend his body and pick off the ball? So that is a great play Bobby Wagner made on Jaden Daniels. Jonathan Jones had a nice PBU pass breakup on Jalen Lane during 7v7 drills. So again, you see how good the defense was today. I'm barely talking about the offense, but here's one thing. Ja'Cory Brooks had nice recognition in 7on7 drills, sitting down in the soft spot of the zone. So that is good to hear. Actually, it probably would have been 11on11 drills if it was zone coverage. But again, Ja'Cory Brooks, man, he's been impressing over the first 3 days of training camp now. He has a legit shot to make the roster as receiver 6. KJ Osborne had, according to Linnell Willingham, the catch of camp thus far, and we haven't seen the clip yet. Maybe they post it later, but KJ Osborne had a great catch on the sideline over Percy Butler, who was draped all over him. So KJ Osborne is also in competition for the last receiver spot. Maybe he will get it, but Chris Moore and Ja'Cory Brooks are making it really competitive right now. Marshawn Lattimore had a nice pass breakup on the goal line. Pretty sure he was working against Chris Moore. So Marshawn Lattimore continues to impress during training camp. We've heard that from reporters like Linnell Willingham. So that's good to hear, man, because obviously we need Lattimore to bounce back this year, and I believe he will bounce back this year, man. And Trey Amos, he caught Jaden Daniels' third interception. It seemed like miscommunication, and Amos caught the ball in the end zone for an interception. So Trey Amos has been nothing but amazing throughout training camp, and he was amazing in OTA practices and mandatory minicamp practices as well, man. He continues to impress, and I say it time and time again. If Amos turns out to be legit and Lattimore bounces back and reverts back to at least 80% of his old form, and Mikey Sanderson is a baller in the nickel position, our cornerback trio will be absolutely deadly. Ben Sinnott and Luke McCaffrey both had a couple of nice grabs today. Luke McCaffrey had a great catch on a slant, and Amos was draped all over him. So pretty good, I would say, contested catch by Luke McCaffrey. It sounds like that since Amos was draped all over him. So really didn't create much separation on the route, but Luke McCaffrey still hauled it in. So great catch by him. And then Ben Sinnott had a touchdown on the goal line, and Chris Rodriguez had a nice pickup or a blitz pickup on that play. So good things to hear about the second year guys in Luke McCaffrey and Ben Sinnott, as well as Dominique Hampton and Jordan McGee, who were making play calls at the line of scrimmage during 11v11 drills. So it's good to hear that Dominique Hampton and Jordan McGee are developing well to the point that they are making play calls at the line of scrimmage, which is awesome to hear. So those second year guys, man, are going to be huge for us this year, and we're going to need a couple of them to step up in order to have the success we want to have this season. So that is it for day 3 of Commanders 2025 training camp. Overall on the day, the defense dominated and the offense struggled, but we know what this offense is. We know what Jaden Daniels and the offense is, and we know they are an elite offense, right? So it is great to see the defense having a day like this where they're taking the ball away. They're making plays on the ball, like Marshawn Lattimore. He had a couple pass breakups today, right? Mikey Sanders, so he was flying around. Same with Will Harris and other guys in the secondary. So it's great to hear the defense having a day like this, and they'll have more days like this, right? It's not going to be all perfect for either side, right? The defense isn't going to be perfect throughout camp, and the offense isn't going to be perfect throughout camp. But it is good to hear that the defense had a day like this because we do need them to be better this season. So again, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up, and turn on notifications. Comment down below your thoughts from day 3 of Commanders training camp. And other than that, it's been K-Sean, and I'm out. Peace.